Breath, Eyes, Memory. Edwidge Danticat. In Breath, Eyes, Memory, Edwidge Danticat tells a haunting and lyrical story about identity, memory, and the unbreakable ties between mothers and daughters. The novel follows Sophie Kako, a young girl growing up in Haiti, who is suddenly sent to New York to live with her mother, Martine, a woman she barely knows. Sophie's childhood in Haiti is filled with love from her aunt Ati, who raises her with tenderness and stories about the strength of Haitian women. But when Sophie turns 12, her life changes overnight. She's sent to America, where Martine works tirelessly as a nurse, but also lives under the shadow of trauma. Sophie quickly realizes that her mother's beauty hides deep pain, memories of sexual violence that still haunt her dreams. Their reunion is not one of joy, but of tension. As Martine's fears and superstitions shape the world Sophie must now navigate. As Sophie grows older, she struggles to understand her mother's love, which is tangled with control and fear. Martine subjects Sophie to tests of virginity, an old Haitian custom meant to preserve purity, but that instead causes shame and emotional scars. Sophie's resistance to this ritual becomes her first act of defiance, one that fractures their already fragile bond. She finds solace in her love for Joseph, a kind and patient man, and escapes her mother's control by eloping with him. Yet even as she builds a new life, Sophie carries her mother's trauma inside her, realizing that pain can be inherited like an heirloom. Returning to Haiti years later, Sophie reconnects with her aunt Ati and her grandmother, Afe, seeking answers about her family's past. She learns that the cycle of pain, rooted in cultural expectations and generations of silence, has shaped every woman in her family. Through storytelling and memory, she begins to understand that healing means confronting, not burying, the past. When Martine becomes pregnant and cannot face her own memories of violation, her trauma overwhelms her. Her tragic death leaves Sophie shattered, but also determined to break the pattern of suffering that has haunted her lineage. In the novel's closing moments, Sophie faces her family's graves and performs a symbolic act of liberation, laying to rest not only her mother's pain but also the silence that has bound them all. Breath, Eyes, Memory is a story of women burdened by the weight of history and expectation, yet yearning for freedom. It speaks of the endurance of love through pain, of the ways memory both wounds and heals, and of a daughter's courage to reclaim her voice in the face of inherited sorrow.